you better be lucky that Beyond Skyline is a better freaking movie than this. Because this first film is awful. Skyline comes to us from the brother Strause, who directs this movie and also has involvement in producing this one, and also produced by Ratner and music composer Brian Tyler. Stars, of course, Faison, Scottie, Thompson, and Eric Balfour. And the plot of Skyline is that you have Eric Balfour and Scottie Thompson's characters, Jared and Elaine, and they decide to get away for the weekend to their friend Terry's, who works in the city. And they go spend a day with them, with Terry and his girlfriend, but also Jared and Elaine are dealing with one problem, that she is pregnant with Jared's child. Then, while they're sleeping, a series of lights comes, and it's blue lights, and every other city in the world starts experiencing the same encounter. And these alien invasion, they decide to wipe out all of human existence, and so it's up to them to take shelter, do whatever they can to avoid being invaded by the aliens in their spaceships, or they'll be forced to deal with the lights of the aliens and be abducted by them. It sounds like an interesting concept here, and an interesting premise. It sounds pretty good and interesting on paper. The problem is the freaking execution. The way this movie is directed, and the way this movie is written. And the way the characters in this movie are written is like you don't care about them except for Eric Balfour's character, Scottie Thompson's character, and Faison's character. You don't know much about Faison's character's girlfriend. You pretty much don't get the character development that you should be getting. And that is a problem when you have a movie that is basically about an alien invasion and you have people trying to avoid it. That is a serious problem. The directing in this movie is just non-existent. I'm not even sure if there's any real direction in here. Because like I said, this is directed by the brother Strause, and it shows. Now, if you don't know who the brother Strause are, they are two visual effects supervisors for Hydraulx. And they do special effects work on movies, including big budgeted films. Here, though, AVP Requiem, while it is a flawed film, I'll say that I'd rather watch Aliens vs. Predator Requiem over this. And the sad part is, this is supposed to be a sci-fi, a horror film with an interesting concept, and it's not. The film is slow. It is only an hour and 37 something minutes. And it drags on like, just drags on worse than The Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. I'm telling you. almost all of the acting here is terrible. You don't, except for Donald Faison, Eric Balfour, and Scottie Thompson. They try, but the rest of the acting around is just like, it's unbearable. And I'm not gonna blame the actors. I'm also gonna blame the writing and the way this movie is written. You don't care. It's not interesting, it's not scary, it's not even the least bit suspenseful. The music is fine. The music is done by Matthew Margeson. The music is fine. Matthew Margeson, he also did the music for Truth or Dare this year, that's a flawed movie too, but I'll watch Truth or Dare over this. What else? I'm trying to look for positives in this freaking thing. Oh, some decent cinematography and decent effects for the budget that this movie had, $10 to $20 million budget. Most of the effects in this movie looks like a made-for-TV film, like you're watching something on Sci-Fi, or you're watching something from The Asylum, and The Asylum is not a good movie company either. Sharknado, those movies are flawed, but they're guilty pleasures too. Also, the last half of this movie is actually pretty solid. I don't mind the last half of this movie. It's cool. That doesn't make up for this movie though, because the positives that I just mentioned doesn't even come close to giving this movie a pass. It doesn't even come close to giving this frickin' movie a pass. At least Beyond Skyline was a better movie, and that was R-rated. You saw blood and it had entertainment factor. This has no entertainment factor. Almost. And there's a reason why the brothers Strause didn't direct the sequel. And because they're not very good directors. Besides the acting from 3 of this movie's stars, the effects with the whole blue light and the look of the alien ships, and the last half of the film, and some decent cinematography. This is just a waste of an interesting concept, a waste of an interesting script, even though we've seen alien invasion stuff before, and just a waste of money and time. So do not waste your time with the first Skyline. Watch the sequel, it is much better. I am giving this movie a freaking skip it. This is probably my third, this is easily my third or second time having to re-record this video, because I want to make sure I get it just right. Let me know what you guys think about Skyline down below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's a guilty pleasure? Do you think it's underrated? Honestly, me, Beyond Skyline is much better than this. So, this is Future Filmmaker 3940. Let's keep that road to 1,000 subscribers going. You guys keep it cool.